Wednesday morning's class. This is our self-healing class. Much more do nothing than do something. We will do a little warm-up, just 10 minutes less. The idea is just to try and get blood and qi flowing well around the body. If you don't even feel like doing a warm-up and you're watching the video, then you just fast forward 10 minutes and the meditation will start. But if you can, just do a little bit of the exercises with me. Something just to say about how that works in Qigong. Sometimes the exercises seem quite extreme, but the point about it is that you can change every exercise to suit your body. So I'm going to ask us to turn and look back over our shoulder, but maybe your spine doesn't want to do that. Perhaps you can just move 0.5 centimeter, 5 centimeters each way, and just imagine that your body turns the whole way. So this is one of the key aspects, is using the mind. And Wednesday, we use the mind much more than the body. And so if you feel your body doesn't want to do something, think it rather than do it. Okay, so you can adjust any exercise to suit your current physical condition. And the point about it is that if you just make these tiny turns today, tomorrow the turn will be a little bit bigger, the next day the turn will be a bit bigger. Eventually your mind will allow your body to fully turn and the body will just change and cure. So baby steps, just take it bit by bit, little steps at a time. Okay, standing with the feet shoulder width apart, with the knees softly bent. The back is nice and straight. Tailbone tucks forward just a little bit. Chin draws backward just a little bit. Tailbone sits down towards the ground. Top of the head pushes up into the blue sky. Nice, long, straight spine. And let's gently turn from deep inside the belly. Just look back over one shoulder and just see how your spine feels. Look back over the other shoulder and check out the spine. And if you feel quite confident with your spine, if it feels okay, we can just release everything and start to move from side to side. We tap our hands onto the side of the body, sends a little vibration through the body. We let the back of the hand tap against the small of the back, sends a vibration through 𝐜𝐥𝐸𝐺. So between L2 and L3 on the spine is this crucial point on the small of the back. If we think where the bottom of each kidney is, one to the left, one to the right, about 10 centimeters above where we're tapping. And then we think about this point in the center of the spine, opposite the belly button. We can describe a small triangle on the small of the back. So from the bottom of one kidney to the bottom of the other kidney, and then from those 2 points down to this point on the spine, 𝐜𝐴. It's kind of a good golden triangle, if you see what I mean. This kind of area of the lower back. It's a very potent qi gathering area. This area we're tapping onto is all about congenital qi. So people talk a lot about congenital qi. We have this idea of prenatal qi and postnatal qi. Prenatal qi is given to us by our parents. Unfortunately, our parents can sometimes not be in a great condition when you're conceived. It could be drunk or stressed or tired or whatever it might be. And this can affect the quality of the prenatal qi you're given. Postnatal qi is what we're gathering now. We're working away with our postnatal qi just to gather energy from the universe. So you can always gather qi from the universe. There's a never-ending supply of it. But the prenatal qi is kind of determined already. It's given at the moment of birth. Sometimes we have very strong babies come out screaming, and sometimes we have babies who are weak and a bit sad. You know, take the first few years can be very difficult for the baby, and that's a function of prenatal chi. And so that's the dice that are thrown at the moment of your birth. And you might think that's a little bit unfair. You got dealt a bad hand. A lot of people, I think, feel that. Sometimes people think to themselves, you know, can these actually even be my parents? Yeah, perhaps. But yeah, this first part of our birth story is the chi that we're given by our parents. And when you think about how different, there are 8 billion of us on this planet and how different we all are, that's only one factor, because also the moment of your birth down to the very second, the alignment of the planets, the environment you're born to, as I said, the environment of your parents, and think about the millions of different stories that are going on in their bodies at every single second. You put all of these factors together in this great mixing pot with the alignment of the planets, the location on the planet, the health of that location, time of day, time of night, time and space. And then you start to see how it's possible. And then, as I say, the millions of factors that have genetically happened in your grandparents and your great grandparents, and then your parents, all the way down to you. And we see that how it's possible to have such an extraordinary, eclectic mix of humans. They say that something like 99.5% of our DNA is the same as each other. You think, well, if that genetic fingerprint is so similar, you know, how can this last 0.5% of DNA make up such radical differences in all of us? And of course, then we realize that it's actually not just down to the actual physical stuff, because our stories carry, our families carry stories as well. And then the environment carries stories, the universe carries stories. And so there's so many different things going on. Makes you you. And the bottom line is that this chi that you're given, sometimes people are given some very strong chi at birth, and sometimes the people are giving less weaker chi at birth. Well, when I studied medical qigong, they always used to say, well, the chi you're given, you know, that's it. And when it's finished, that chi is gone, it's done. And then, which is rather a sort of a sad thing. And they always used to say, this is the hourglass of your life. When your chi is finished, then that's the end of you. But Dr. Pang has said this is not true. He said you can rebuild and strengthen your congenital chi. And so this area that we're talking about, just below the kidneys, just above L2, L3 on the spine, this little triangle of chi, it's all about your congenital chi. So this is why I think this is such a powerful exercise. We're constantly tapping and awakening this little area here at the small of the back as the hands come round. And so this stimulates both the kidneys, but it also stimulates the gate here, which is Ming Men, which connects to lower dantian. Okay, so we're just going to have put my lights on. We're just going to have a slight refinement here of ideas. So we talk a lot about the Ming Men Gate, which is on the small of the back, but also the Ming Men Palace lies inside this area. So just if we were to go straight through the Ming Men Gate and go straight in through lower dantian, 7/10 of the way, this area is where we have our lower dantian energy field. Towards the back of that is an area called the Ming Men Palace. So it's basically contained inside lower dantian, but it's really a very small area right where we're hitting here. And so what we're really doing is we're working on Ming Men Palace as well when we strike the back. When we strike the front, we're pretty much stimulating lower dantian. the lower energy field. So drawing the difference between the two of those, what is the difference between palaces and dantians? So dantian, it's got all these strange translations, the lower altar, but essentially what we're talking about is the lower energy field. It's a store of chi that sits deep inside your belly. And what we tend to do, especially when we're doing our lift chi up, pour chi down, is we gather lots of chi into the body and we fill up the body with energy. The Mingmen Palace is a different story. There are three dantians, as we know. We've got the lower dantian in the belly, lots of energy here, middle dantian in the center of the chest, lots of energy here, upper dantian in the center of the brain, lots of chi there. And so these three chi fields distribute chi around the body. But there's also the, let's say, the palace system, if you like. And we have, as I've mentioned, just behind L2, L3, in line with your belly button, a small area, probably about the size of a fist, I'd imagine, small area which is called the Mingmen Palace. Sitting between the middle dantian and your belly button, kind of solar plexus, inside, deep inside, kind of almost touching your spine, is the lost it, Hunyuan Palace. Is that right? Yes, of course, Hunyuan Palace. Sorry, that just disappeared for a moment. And then right in the center of the brain, right in the middle of the energy field there is Shenji, is the palace of the Shen. And the Shen is our kind of spiritual kind of home, as it were. The palace in the middle, the Hunyuan Palace and the lower palace, Mingmen, all of these palace systems are to do really with, well, I suppose they're more to do with the hormonal system, but I also think that they deal with, when we study yoga, we come across the chakra system. And I think that they're much more of an energetic system. And of course, the Indian chakra system and the Chinese Qigong system, they've blended throughout the years. The Chinese have imported gurus into, there's a story about Bodhidharma, who was taken to China, I think 500 years before, 500 years before, I don't know, I have to get it right. I think maybe it's 500 years after the birth of Christ, before the Common Era. But Bodhidharma was a guru who was imported into China. And the idea of Bodhidharma was that he was there to make the emperor live to be 1,000 years old. And the emperor says, Bodhidharma, make me live to be 1,000 years old. And he says, I can't do that. And the emperor says, right, well, in that case, I'm going to kill you, which is, of course, a normal reaction to these kind of things. But and so Bodhidharma fled to the Shaolin Temple, which is very famous, obviously, for the Shaolin Kung Fu. And Bodhidharma was the person who looked at Shaolin Kung Fu and said, gosh, there's all this fighting, but why don't you guys have any kind of meditation? Why don't you have any soft ways of being? And so he's said to have sat down for 8 years in meditation. There's an extraordinary story that he removed his own eyelids so that he couldn't shut his eyes. And he had to keep his eyes open for 8 years to stay in permanent, open-eyed, centered concentration. Extraordinary stories of extreme behavior. But he came up with one of the best balances for Shaolin Kung Fu, is having essentially their version of Qigong, which calmed and relaxed them. Rather than them being all about fighting, they became about fighting balanced with meditation. And that emperor never found out how to live to be 1,000 years old, but actually the answer was probably do Qigong and be patient. And so, yes, we have this story about these three dantians. I think they're all connected to the chakra system in a very sort of similar energetic way, with the three palaces inside our body. So that's a very long-winded way of saying this exercise, as we tap onto this area, stimulates this amazing palace that sits here, which is all about our congenital energy. And our congenital energy is all about the strength of our immune system, about the strength of our marrow system, but also about the strength of our hormonal system. Sorry, I got carried away. Too much theory. Let's just relax a bit. Okay, so I think that warm-up exercise is probably enough today. We don't need to do the forward and back bends. We don't need to do the side bends. I think it's just nice just to get the chi moving is what's important. Okay, so let's just stand for a few moments and gather some chi. So lift chi up. So sometimes this exercise can leave you feeling a bit wobbly and dizzy. My apologies, I should have mentioned this earlier, but let's just calm and relax ourselves. Bring the chi down. Draw the chi down to the belly. Let the body relax. Gather chi, lift up. Gently pour chi down. Gather and lift up. Pour chi gently down through the body. One more time. Lift up. And gently draw the chi to the center of the body. Draw the chi down. And the hands settle onto the belly. Whole body relaxes into chi. So as I always say, if you want to put a chair behind you so that you can sit down, that's no problem at all. If you need to lie down, why not do that? What we want to do is to be able to spend the next part of this meditation in a really relaxed, easy, comfortable way. Much more important about the mind activity. So let the whole body gently relax. I think I need a sip of tea, so pause for a moment. My voice is a little bit gravelly today. We're going to use a couple of healing tones today. So we find ourselves in this standing posture, or sitting, doesn't really matter. The first thing we do is make this connection. So one of the problems with being human is that we've advanced so far that we lose this connection. We can find it terribly easy to zoom off and do something else with our mind. But now we're being asked to draw our mind back. Don't touch things of the outside world with your mind, just for a little while. See if you can bring your mind back inside your body. Draw your mind deep into Shenji Palace, deep in the center of your brain. Draw your mind down. This time we can bring it down to Hunyuan Palace, behind the solar plexus, deep in the center of the body. And then we can bring the mind down to the Mingmen Palace. Same place as the Dantian, but really nestled up against the spine. Between the legs, 𝐬𝐿 gently lifts up, closing that area. 𝐻𝐻 on the top of the head gently pushes up. So imagine this axis of energy. Lift 𝐻𝐻, lift 𝐻𝐻. We lift up between the legs, we lift up at the top of the head. And this current of energy through the three dantians, lifting our bodies up. Conversely, the tailbone is just gently sitting down. There are always these different flows of qi. Lung energy moving down in the body, kidney energy moving up in the body. Tailbone sits down, 𝐻𝐻 lifts up. Always these different sort of counter flows. We call this standing Qigong, which suggests, and actually its name is often called Jianzhong. Jianzhong. And if you translate it literally, it means standing like a post or standing like a tree. Initially, that doesn't feel like it's got movement in it. You think about even the mightiest oak tree, and they gently move in the breeze. So when you stand with your knees bent and your back straight. But you do allow a gentle movement into your body. Allow your body to sway forward just a few centimeters. Allow your body to drift backwards just a few centimeters. It's a tiny little movement. Keep the knees bent and it becomes much easier. Drifting and gently moving the body backwards and forwards, like a mighty tree gently blown in the breeze. Connect your roots into the earth. From the ball of your foot, connect each foot deep into the earth like a mighty root going down into the ground. We know what tree roots are like. They have little roots coming off the sides, and even those have little hairs, and everything grips the ground. Everything connects into the ground. So feel it's possible for you to put these roots and these little tap roots out into the earth and really, really connect yourself solidly. And of course, the idea of a root is that it gathers qi, in this case, energy from the earth, and draws this energy up your legs to lower dantian. But also this exchange of qi. Any energy that's not needed in the lower body can be exchanged out through the roots back into the earth. So we have this wonderful harmonizing effect going on straight away. There are three channels that flow down the outside of your legs. So they go from the hips and the buttocks all the way down the outside of your legs, all the way to your feet. And then up the inside of the legs, there are three channels that flow up from the ground, up into your body. So straight away, we have these energy systems that are exchanging qi with the earth. Qi flowing down the outside of the legs, qi flowing up the inside of the legs, this wonderful balancing effect. But also not only that, qi in the legs. So very often we find that people's legs are blocked, just standing for a few minutes, and the legs might start to shake. Well, that tells you that the qi is not flowing smoothly. Sometimes you bend your knees and you sit your tailbone down and your legs start to shudder and shake. And then quietly, instinctively, you just stand up and lock your knees back and you don't even notice you've done it. So just remind yourself to gently, gently sink the tailbone down, bend the knees, and even if the knees start to shake, doesn't matter. Don't get involved in it. Just let your knees do what they have to do. Just let your thighs and calves do what they have to do. And they may shake and shudder, and sometimes that can last for weeks. And then eventually one day, it's just gone. Something is cleared in the lower body. Blood and qi is flowing better. So we stand in this posture and we patiently wait for the lower legs to clear. The same is true of pain in the feet. It indicates that qi is not flowing well. And you'd think that standing on your feet would be the worst thing you could do, but no, because by standing in this way, you're creating this blockage. But by gently moving backwards and forwards, you're softly massaging the feet and allowing the qi and blood to start moving through the body. So you find that when we say sway backwards and forwards, you do it a few times and then you stop. But then you realize that the body just gently does it anyway. And so by standing with your knees bent and the back straight, we're automatically clearing the feet. And I'm sure some of you guys will testify to the fact that when you first started doing Qigong, your feet were sore, but these days you've completely forgotten all about it. It's just gone. So don't lose heart about your legs. Don't lose heart about your feet. If you feel you have to sit down, no problem. But do try to do some standing. It's an exercise form all on its own. And it's about opening up these channels that run down the outside of the legs, opening up the channels that surge up the inside of the legs, about bringing health to our legs, about bringing strength to our legs. I always joke about 80-year-old Chinese ladies standing on one leg in the park, and our old ladies, oh, my joke is, going down like skittles in the high street. It's that kind of idea. I mean, nobody wants that. But of course, it's this idea that, you know, Chinese ladies practice this for many, many years, and it's never too late to start. And of course, then in old age, you become much more robust. All of us know about an elderly relative who's fallen over. And it's this kind of idea that when you start to fall over, things just get worse and worse for you. Well, let's just not have that happen. Let's build up this incredible stability in our legs. Let's see that we age in a strong and powerful way. Some people give up and allow themselves just to disappear into old age. No, sir. Fight that. Fight that urge. Become one of these extraordinarily powerful old people. Practice your Qigong every day. Build up your power and stamina so that young people look at you and say, wow, look at that. What did you do? You say, just my Qigong. Keeps your mind sharp, keeps your body strong. Do it every day. This is the best insurance policy you ever bought. We're talking about aging. Living to a ripe old age, which science now does. We've kind of conquered that in so many ways. But we haven't lived, that's a new word for you. We haven't lived to a ripe old age in a happy way. But now doing Qigong, that's what it's all about. It's about quality of life. It's about living life to a ripe old age in a fantastic state. This is what we're here for. This is our longevity practice. This is how we power our bodies. So we stand in our shoulder width posture. We let our body relax. We connect into the earth below and really feel like we're trees deeply rooted. We connect into the heavens above. So Bai Hui on top of the head, you imagine it extends up into the blue sky above you. This incredible connection into the blue sky above. Dr. Pang, in his 8 phrases, he wrote this poem that encapsulates everything, the whole sort of thinking behind 𝐸𝐤𝐥𝐥𝐿. And the first line used to be Ding Tian Li Di, which translates as feet in the earth, head in the heavens. But in 2013, he changed it to To Tien Che Di, which means feet in the earth, feet through the earth, feet out into the universe beyond, head into the heavens, into the blue sky, out into the universe beyond. It's a much more universal idea. It's still got this idea of connect yourself out into the chi field, but it's much more than that. It's connect out into the whole of the universe. Feel that it's possible for you to connect into the universe. So I'm just going to quickly sing you the 8 phrases. It goes like this. To Tian Che Di, Shin Song Yi Chang 𝐬𝐥𝐚𝐬𝐬 이념보치 전주太空山一交替 조선롱롱 Connect out into the universe. Feel this intimate connection. When you feel that you're connected with the universe, this allows your body to start to relax. No longer this incredible struggle for resources, because the universe is there at your disposal. Allow your body to relax. It doesn't have to fight. Everything is available for you. Mind calms. Well, when you relax out into the universe, there's nothing more to do. We can let our mind calm. We can bathe our mind in this beautiful universe. And when we start to relax in this way, relaxing the mind, relaxing the body, it starts to become difficult to tell what's inside your body and what's outside. Where is the barrier? It becomes difficult to exactly feel the precise moment your skin ends and the chi field begins. And so by letting our guard down in this way, we gently connect out into the chi field around us. So what is the chi field around us? Well, it depends where you are. If you're in a beautiful piece of the countryside, you can connect into all the trees and nature, birds and the animals, rocks and rivers. Sometimes we're in cities, but even cities have got trees and birds, green spaces. Sometimes we just have to think about a place that we love. And that's enough for us to connect into that nature. It doesn't have to be the nature that's directly around you. Perhaps it's a place that you've holidayed. Perhaps it's a place of your childhood that you feel safe in nature. So now the inside of our bodies connecting out into the nature, but also nature connecting with us inside. This beautiful flow of energy. So it begins in this 8 phrases very precisely. Connect into the earth, connect into the heavens, gather energy. But now we realize that the whole body connects. We connect to the deepest levels of our DNA. Deep inside our bodies, we connect. We open out and soften into the chi field around us. No longer able to tell what's you, what's nature. As soon as we do this, we start to heal. We're starting to let go blockages inside the body. Starting to let go of problems in our lives. The founder of 𝐬𝐤𝐥𝐟-𝐡𝐞𝐚, Dr. Pang. Most people believe Dr. Pang is a truly enlightened being. When we do 𝐬𝐤𝐥𝐟-𝐡𝐞𝐚, Dr. Pang, he's in the chi field with us. He might be sitting in his armchair in Beijing at this very moment, but he's also connected into the chi field with us. There's this idea that everybody in 𝐬𝐤𝐥𝐟-𝐡𝐞𝐚 connects into the same field of chi. That you connect with me not only via Zoom, but connect on a much finer level. I connect with you, you connect with me. We share this chi field together. We connect as a class. We connect our class to all the other classes. We connect to all the other teachers, to Dr. Pang, this vast chi field of people, this vast chi field of good information. Dr. Pang says, Wu Wu Bu Hua. There is nothing you cannot change. Wu Wu Bu Hua. There is nothing that you cannot change. What does he mean by that? He means directly, there is nothing that you cannot change in the structure of your body. There is nothing you cannot change in your emotional life. There is nothing you cannot change in your connection to the universe, your spiritual connection, if you like. Wu Wu Bu Hua. Nothing that you cannot change. Shift the belief system now that underpins the stories. Oh, I'm just this way. I'm stuck with this. I cannot change that. This is my lot in life. Change that story now. Wu Wu Bu Hua. There is nothing you cannot change. Wu Wu Bu Shen. There is nothing that you are unable to make happen. There's nothing that you're unable to make happen. Do not feel that you are a victim of this life, of this universe, because there is nothing that you cannot bring about. There is nothing that you cannot make happen. We feel powerless in our lives. And that's because unwittingly, we've given away our power. We give away our power to our doctors. We give away our power to the politicians. We give away our power to our partners, to our children, to our colleagues. Where have you given away your power? How have you disabled your own power? Where have you let it happen? Time to reclaim your power. Wu Wu Bu Shen. There is nothing you are unable to make happen. Feel empowered by that idea. Wu Wu Bu Sui. There is nothing that you cannot break down. Wu Wu Bu Sui. There is nothing that you cannot break down. Think of the power of this idea. There is nothing that you cannot break down. Anything that appears to stand in your way, anything that appears to stand in the way of your complete healing, break it down. Go through. So often, these things appear in our lives as immutable, unmovable. That is just a mirage made by your reference framework. There is nothing that you cannot break through. Wu Wu Bu Sui. So Dr. Pang has these three phrases. Wu Wu Bu Hua. Nothing you cannot change. Wu Wu Bu Shen. Nothing that you cannot make happen. Wu Wu Bu Sui. Nothing you cannot break down and break through. Think of the power that this brings to you. No longer allow yourself to be bowed or swayed or ruled by other people. Bring your power back to your body. Search your body now with your mind. Where are the problems? What needs changing? What needs breaking down? What needs, changing? It's exactly what I wanted. Use your mind like a searchlight to search through the body. When you find something that maybe feels like a blockage, send beautiful healing light into your body. Heal your body at a deep cellular level. There's nothing you can't change. Maybe there's lumps and bumps you don't like. There's nothing that you cannot break down. There is nothing that you are unable to make happen in your body, in your life. Think about your life. Who are the blockages? Where are the blockages? What story is stopping you? Break it down. Break through it. See through it and break through it. What is limiting your life? What limits you? What holds you back? Just think about a sentence. I can't change this because. What would you fit in there? I can't change my health because X has told me this. Breakthrough. I can't change my life because I haven't got enough money. breakthrough. I can't, just think about these things. What do you tell yourself you can't do? I can't go here. I can't do this. I can't be that. Because we all have these stories we tell ourselves. We take comfort in it. We think, oh, well, this is just where I have to be because. But is that really true? Are we just being comfortable? Are we just accepting our lot and saying, oh, well, that's it? Sometimes it takes a little bravery. Sometimes it takes a lot of bravery. Do you want to shift? Do you want to change? Perhaps you're happy with where you are. But if you really want to shift, if you really want to change, we have to shake ourselves out of our lethargy. We have to escape the chains of the stories that pin us in place. We have to stand up and be counted. Be the brave person you know you can be, because these stories turn out to be mirages. When you step through them, everything changes. And you think, wow, that looked like a brick wall. And then I stepped through it and it's gone. The thing we fear most is death. And that's because we're very attached to this life. Generally speaking, we become very, very obsessed with this life. I really need to hang on here. I need to hang on for my daughter. I need to hang on for my son. I need to hang on for my grandchildren. I need to keep going for my job. I need to keep going for the family name. I need to keep going for the empire that I'm building. We have 1,000 reasons why we have to hold on. But actually, letting go is what we're asked to do. So it's the core tenet in Buddhism, isn't it? It's this non-attachment idea. If you're holding on so tight, nothing can ever move or change. So just to give you an idea, I spoke to teacher Lou once, and I said to him, why do people try and control each other? And he said, just insecurity. And I thought about that. And I realized if you don't feel secure about your life, you try to stop everybody else from moving. You try to stop all kinds of change from happening because you're worried if you're not in control of the change that something will happen you don't like or you can't manage. But by allowing things to flow, our lives can improve. By holding things stuck in place, we're stuck with the old life. Nothing will change. So how will you ever bring about a healing if you're keeping everything from changing? You're fearing change. As we get older, we all fear change. This is something we have to counteract. Bless my mum. Oh, she was a lovely lady. You used to say to her, Mum, let's do this. And she'd just say, no. And then about 10 minutes later, she'd say, Yes, okay, we can do that. But she was so scared of anything moving or changing. Her first reaction was always no, no, no. Is your first reaction no? Are you allowing your caution to stop you from moving? So if we cling on so tightly, we're actually stopping ourselves from living. So clinging on because of fear is actually like death in this lifetime. It's like holding yourself almost in a state of death because you don't want anything to move. You don't want to get closer to that. Now it's time to live, people. Now it's time to live. Now it's time to allow the flow. Now it's time to allow the joy. Now it's time to open our arms and say, yes, yes. What is it? Let it come. Be brave. Allow it to flow. Be brave. Allow your life to flow. Get out of the way. Don't hold on to attachments. Do not attach yourself. Wow. Do not attach yourself to your family. How difficult is that? It's all we're bred to believe. But if you're controlling your family, how will they ever grow? If you're the blockage in their life, how will they ever grow? Let go, let go, let them flow. Let them do their own thing. When our families are young, we create this beautiful barrier around them to keep them safe, but we should allow them to rove free in this huge game park, like a sort of wild animal sanctuary where they can roam free. There is a fence at the outside, and we give our families this beautiful kind of area to work in. And then eventually we realize that they're able to get over the fence and they can do their own thing. That's fine. We provide this perfect setting for them to gently grow up in a more or less safe environment. And then eventually we throw the gates open. They wander free. But if what you've made for your family is a tiny enclosure, 10 meters square, they're stuck inside the cage of your life. They can't grow. Let your family roam free. Don't control them anymore. When you release these bonds, your whole life starts to change. When you release your fear of death, everything starts to change. Teacher Lou comes up again. About 10 years ago, he said, my father's become unwell. And so we're going back to China just to see how he is. They went to a hospital and the doctor said, yeah, it's pretty bad. We're not expecting your father to live too long. And so they decided not to mention that to his father. And then 6, 7 years later, his father was still going strong. I'm not sure. I think his father only died just very, very recently, about 10 years after his diagnosis. Nobody told him he was ill, so he just lived on very happily. What they did do is they bought him a coffin. Very early on, they bought him his coffin and they put it in the garage and said, look, we bought you a present, Dad. This is what you're going to be buried in. Tickled in pink. He liked the idea. He actually lay in his coffin several times to try it out, to see how it would feel, to see that it's not fearful. How bizarre, huh? Challenges everything we think about death. But his father lost his fear of death and subsequently lived on for another 10 years, way past his sell-by date, and died peacefully. There's something to be learned from that for all of us. Because as soon as we let go of our fear of dying, suddenly we can be alive. Suddenly we can live our life. It doesn't matter anymore. Death comes when it comes. But just as day follows night, that is just another cycle of the universe. Night follows day. Life follows death. As sure as night follows day, day follows night, night follows day. Life follows death, death follows life. The cycle. But one thing I think we can be sure of is the essence of you never fades. The information of you never fades. Very often people say, I can feel my father is still there guiding me. I personally have experienced that. I lost my father when I was quite young, 21, 22. But I've often felt that my father has been there for me. The information of my father never died. And it's entirely possible that in this story of reincarnation, perhaps he already has moved back into another life. I don't know if reincarnation is true or not, but perhaps his energy continues to move on around this plane. Who knows? But what I do know is that I've often felt that his energy was there. So why fear life? Why fear living? Why fear death? Why have fear at all? Woo, woo, boo, hua. There is nothing you cannot change in your life. There is nothing you cannot shift and change. Woo, woo, boo, hua. Just know that everything in your life can be shifted. Anything in your body can be changed. Woo, woo, boo, shen. There is nothing that you cannot bring about in this life. So many stories have told you how limited you can be. So many stories have kept you in check and held you back. Dr. Pang says, Wu Wu Bu Shen. There is nothing that you cannot make happen. Wu Wu Bu Sway. There are no barriers that cannot be broken down by you. Feel empowered by Dr. Pang's ideas, by this information. You are a super powerful being. So often we're, what word would I use? Neutered by school, neutered by society, neutered by parents' comments, by teachers' comments, by religion. So often we're brought low by these ideas. You can't do this, you can't be that. So often we're brought low by doctors' information. wu, bu sui. There is nothing that you cannot break down. Feel the power of that information in every cell of your body. Nothing you cannot change, nothing you cannot bring about, nothing you cannot break down. There is nothing you cannot change or break down or bring about. Nothing. You're only limited by believing it to be so. You're only limited by the thought processes in your head. Change them. Allow them to shift. You're only limited from healing because somebody has told you it can't happen. Just thinking about a wonderful friend of mine. We walked large parts of the Camino together. I told Peter a story about the medicineless hospital, Dr. Pang's center, how there were 15 recorded cases of adults who had grown teeth back. You're told when your second set of teeth come in, that's it. When they're gone, they're gone. But if you look at an X-ray of a jaw, you find there are seeds inside the jaw which never seem to be activated, which are potential teeth. But somehow we've come to believe that when you get your second set of teeth, that's it. Well, there were people in the medicineless hospital, and don't forget in China, this was a time of very basic education. You were being given a lot of information about the Communist Party and probably not a lot of education about anything else. And so these people who must have been very basic farmers had never been told you couldn't have more teeth. And so when they were doing their healing, they were thinking, oh, I could heal this tooth that's missing. And then the tooth grew back in. They had 15 cases of people who regrew their teeth. And I said to Peter, he said to me, I don't believe that. It's not true. You know, this is a ridiculous story you're telling me. Anyway, I said, well, don't worry, leave that. He sent me through an article from a scientific magazine a couple of days ago. And in it, it was saying, scientists have discovered a chemical that can help you regrow your teeth. I was so pleased to see that. He sent it through and said, I apologize. Who knew? Just everything that you think is impossible in your life is not impossible. The doctor says, here's your diagnosis. Oh, God, that's it. This is terrible. No, it's not. Your diagnosis. It's a wake-up call. Here we go. Something new to change. They've identified something. Now I can get on with it. Now I can change it. Now I can change my whole life. What's made me feel unwell? I'm going to change that. Break through. All change is possible. Very good. So think about your body today. What do we need to change? What do we need to shift? Think about your life. What are the things that are pinning you in place that need pins taken out of so you can change and move and flow through your life? What fears are stopping you from moving forwards? Let's dissolve them. Think about Dr. Pang's phrases. Principle among them, wu wu bu hua. There's nothing you cannot change. Wu wu bu hua. There is nothing that I cannot change in my life. Wu wu bu hua. and your whole body dissolve into the chi field. When we relax into the chi field, there is nothing here except a vast reservoir of energy. Let's gather this energy back for our lives. So perhaps you might want to gather chi up above your head. You can lift your hands up into the blue sky. You can imagine this vast reservoir of energy. You can pour it down through your body, pour it down through your head, pour it down through your neck, pour it deep into your chest, store it deep inside your belly, pour it down through your legs, flowing into the ground. Let's gather again. Lift chi up, lift chi up, lift chi up. Pour chi down through your body. This torrent of energy filling your brain, filling your neck, filling your chest, filling your belly. Flow the chi through your legs. Connect deep into the earth. Become one with this flow of chi. Lift chi up, gathering chi, pouring chi through your arms, pouring chi through your head, pouring chi through your neck and through your shoulders, filling the upper dantian, filling the middle dantian, filling the lower dantian, pouring chi through your spine, down into your hips, to your tailbone, through your legs, down into your knees, to your feet, the whole of your body. Now think about a cell, simple kind of biology thing. Just a round circle. In the middle, there's a black blob. Inside the black blob, there's your DNA. There's various other kind of little articles in this cell. Just imagine this is like a sample cell of all the cells in your body. Now let's lift chi up, and we're going to pour chi through this cell. As we pour the chi down, every cell in your body responds. We fill this cell with chi. We fill the nucleus with chi. We fill the DNA with chi. We fill your mitochondria with chi. Every cell in your body, perfect, cleansed, working well. Let's pour the chi into our bones. So lift chi up and feel that every bone in your body responds. As we pour the chi down, we imagine chi in your head and in your neck, in your arms, in your shoulders, in your spine, in your ribs, down into your hips and into your pelvis, into your tailbone, into your thighs, knees, into your calves, into your ankles, into your feet. Let's pour chi through our blood system. So we gather chi up. We imagine pouring chi through all the veins and arteries in our head and our arms and our neck and our shoulders, all the way down, of course, into our lungs and our heart, pouring down into all the organs that go through our intestines, down to our liver, spleen, pancreas, kidneys, pouring all the down through into the hips, down the veins and arteries, muscles, through our legs, down into our feet. Just imagine the whole of your blood system, blood and chi flowing well through your body, everything in perfect working order. Let's think about the nervous system. So lift chi up, pour chi down through the nerves of your fingertips and your arms, pour chi down through the nerves in your head and your brain. These nerves connect all the way down through your spine, pouring down through the spine and radiating out into all the organs in your chest, radiating down the spine to all the organs in your intestine, and all the way down your legs, all the way down into your feet. Just think about your whole nervous system tingling in perfect working order, total balance. We think about our endocrine system. So gather chi up and pour chi into the brain marrow, pour chi into the pineal gland deep inside, pour chi into our spinal marrow, pour chi into your thyroid, into your thymus, into your kidneys, into your adrenal glands, pour chi down into your sexual organs. Feel that the whole of your hormonal system is working well, in perfect balance, blood and chi flowing well. Think about the chi inside your bones, but think about the marrow inside your bones. So just think about a bone, doesn't matter which, and then inside the center of the bone is all this wonderful red marrow where all the blood cells are being born. This is part of our immunity system, the white blood cells. So inside every single bone, just think about these wonderful kind of nurseries of our body where all of these cells are growing and working well. The basis of our immunity is deep inside here. Think about the strength of your immunity. Think about your 𝐬𝐤𝐿 layer, this qi layer around your skin. It's like a layer of qi, 2 or 3 centimeters around the whole of your skin. Imagine that strong and powerful. Imagine that wonderful protective layer. And then inside the body, we think about all the red and white blood cells. We think about all the other functions of our immune system. And so we have this kind of outside layer that protects us, but inside there are all sorts of functions with the spleen, with the liver, with every part of the body, deep inside your digestive system, deep inside your blood system, all of these powerful tools that keep us immune and strong. So there we have it. Every cell in the body working well. This wonderful protective shield around your body. Your body, blood and qi flowing well. Your bones are strong. Your muscles are strong. Your tendons are strong. Your skin is perfect. Think about your skin glowing. This is the biggest organ of your body. Think about the skin and then think about this wonderful barrier, the 𝐬𝐤𝐿 layer around it. And then think about your qi body, a huge bubble around you. Perhaps it's a meter in front, a meter behind, left and right, up and down. This vast, beautiful qi field that protects you, but also connects you to the outside world, connects you appropriately. So we have this bubble of qi, and then we have our 𝐬𝐤𝐿 layer, and then we have our qi body. So see yourself as this being of light, every cell in your body working well, this protective field around you, keeping you safe. And you in absolute control of it all. Remember Dr. Pang's story. Inside you is the most powerful medicine factory on earth. Nobody can make custom-made chemicals for your system like you can. Make sure you're in control of the process. Make sure that you are directing your health, not somebody else. Take control. Take power. Wu, 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 hua. There is nothing you cannot change. Wu, 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 shang. There is nothing you cannot make happen. Wu, wu, bu, sway. There is nothing you cannot break down. No barrier you cannot get through. Let's gather the hands up once more and then bring them onto our bellies. So draw the hands up. All the resources of the universe through your body. Bring your hands to lower dantian. Settle your hands there. We bring ourselves back into our physical body. So we've been dissolved into the qi field. Now we have to start rebuilding our physical body. Well, why would you bring it back broken? Why would you bring back the old bits that don't work? Think about your body in perfect working order. Think about your every cell working well. Perhaps you've had surgery and had things removed. Put them back in perfect working order. Make them shine, glowing, perfect working order. Perhaps you've got things in your body you don't want anymore. Let them go. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. Your body, just perfect, exactly as you need it. Bring yourself back into your physicality. Bring yourself back into your body. Feel yourself in your workspace, in this time and place, in this beautiful body once more. We have been a bit dissolved, so now we kind of bring ourselves back to our reality. One of the best ways is just to draw 3 circles around the belly button. So wipe 3 circles around lower dantian, around du qi, the belly button. Really, really feel your body as you draw these 3 circles around. Let's go back 3 circles in the opposite direction, gathering, connecting, feeling the whole body, the physicality returning. Here we are, back in this time. in this space. Just remember, though, you never lose your connection to me. I never lose my connection to you. We never lose our connection to this wider Qi family, to this great information, to Dr. Pang, to all the other teachers. All day, keep this Qi state. Keep the memory of what we've been through here. Every time something difficult comes up in your day, draw yourself back. Come back inside. Come back to lower dantian. Come back to this feeling of invincibility. Come back to this feeling of your own power, your own control. Hold that thought all day. Maybe it just takes one breath to bring you back into your Qi state. But whenever you feel challenged, whenever your thought processes go to scary things, come back here. Remember this moment. We can let our eyes slowly open. We can let our hands relax down. Perhaps you want to bring a bit of movement into your body. Stretch out in some way. Whatever you feel like your body might need. Just give yourself a moment or two of stretching. If you're going to do a bend of any sort, just do it very carefully because you can get very dizzy coming back up. So come up slowly if you bend over. Okay, so as I always say, this is going to go onto YouTube. So if you don't want to be included in the YouTube video, please don't unmute yourself, because when you unmute yourself, it suddenly brings the camera to you. You suddenly flash up on the camera. So we're going to say hao la together. Hao la means good already. But if you don't unmute yourself, don't worry, I know you're saying hao la along with me. So we put our hands up in the air. I count 1, 2, and then we say hao la. Okay, so draw the hands up in the air. 1, 2. Ha. 1, 2. Ha. La. Everything is good already. 1, 2. Ha. La. Lovely. So this is kind of like an affirmation. Everything we've done and said is good already. It's already fixed. It's about thinking about the future. All of these things are projected forwards. Everything is sorted already. We can make a little salute for each other. Your right hand comes up and the left hand goes down and sits on top. You pull the fingertips together and put the thumbs on the end, like a yin and yang symbol. This is the 𝐬𝐤𝐴𝐺 salute. Really nice to see you people here today. Thank you very much. And as I always say, I'll put this video onto YouTube, and please, if you could share it, that'd be wonderful. It'd be really nice. Spread it around and give it to your friends, family. Lovely to see you. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget your Qi state. Stay with it.